2 years ago, after my divorce at 58, I discovered that solo female travel advice falls into two useless categories. Either it treats us like helpless victims who need constant protection, or fearless adventurers who should ignore all safety concerns. The reality of solo female travel after 50 lies somewhere between those extremes. I'm about to share the honest truth about traveling alone as a mature woman, the genuine safety strategies that work, how to handle loneliness without letting it control you, and the incredible freedom that comes with making every travel decision yourself. If you're considering solo travel, but confused by conflicting advice that doesn't acknowledge your real concerns, this guide will give you the practical tools and honest perspective you actually need. 18 months ago, staring at my empty house after 28 years of marriage, I realized I had a choice: spend my newfound freedom waiting for someone else to travel with me, or learn to explore the world on my own terms. At 58, I had never eaten dinner alone in a restaurant, never booked a hotel room just for myself, never navigated a foreign city without someone else making the decisions. The thought terrified and excited me equally. What I discovered over the next year of solo travel completely changed not just how I see the world, but how I see myself. The catalyst came when my married friends kept saying, "We should plan a trip together," but never followed through with actual dates or destinations. My single friends either couldn't afford the trips I wanted to take or preferred different travel styles. I realized I could spend the next decade waiting for the perfect travel companion, or I could learn to be my own perfect travel companion. The decision to book my first solo trip to Portugal felt like jumping off a cliff, but it became the foundation for the most rewarding chapter of my life. Before I share what I learned about the realities of solo female travel after 55, let me establish my perspective. I'm not promoting solo travel as superior to traveling with companions, nor am I dismissing legitimate safety concerns that affect women traveling alone. I'm sharing practical strategies and honest observations about what solo female travel actually involves, both the challenges and rewards, so you can make informed decisions rather than choices based on fear or unrealistic expectations. Solo travel experiences vary dramatically based on destinations, personal comfort levels, physical capabilities, and cultural backgrounds. What feels safe and comfortable for me might feel overwhelming for you, or vice versa. The goal is understanding your own requirements and limitations so you can plan travel experiences that enhance rather than stress your life. The safety conversation around solo female travel frustrates me because it often focuses on extreme scenarios while ignoring practical, everyday concerns. The reality is that most safety issues for solo female travelers aren't dramatic crimes, but mundane situations: getting lost, feeling uncomfortable in restaurants, dealing with pushy vendors, or handling minor medical issues without support. These situations require practical skills and confidence more than pepper spray or self-defense classes. The countries and cultures that work best for solo female travelers aren't necessarily the ones with the lowest crime rates, but those with social attitudes that respect women traveling independently. Portugal, for example, has a culture where single women dining alone or exploring cities attracts no attention or commentary. Servers treat you with the same respect as couples. Locals provide helpful directions without ulterior motives, and public spaces feel comfortable for women alone. This cultural comfort matters more than security statistics. European destinations generally provide the easiest introduction to solo female travel because of infrastructure designed for independent travelers and cultural attitudes that normalize women traveling alone. Scandinavia, the Netherlands, and Portugal top my list for first solo trips because they combine excellent safety records with social environments where single women feel welcomed rather than pitied or targeted. These destinations allow you to build confidence without constantly managing safety concerns. The accommodation strategy for solo female travel requires balancing safety, comfort, and social connection. Hotels with 24-hour desk service provide security and local assistance when needed. Boutique hotels often offer more personal attention and genuine concern for guest welfare than large chain properties. Avoiding ground floor rooms provides security advantages, while requesting rooms near elevators reduces isolation. The goal is feeling secure enough to relax while maintaining reasonable precautions. Dining alone challenges many women because we've been socialized to see solo dining as sad or inappropriate. The reality is that in most travel-friendly destinations, solo diners are common and unremarkable. The key is choosing restaurants where you feel comfortable, often smaller establishments where staff can provide attention without being intrusive. Lunch dining feels more natural than dinner for many women. And counter seating or communal tables provide social interaction without the formality of traditional dining. The loneliness aspect of solo travel deserves honest discussion because it's real and manageable, but rarely addressed in travel advice. Evenings are often the most challenging time, particularly in romantic destinations designed for couples. Having evening routines, reading, journaling, video calls with family helps structure this time productively. Choosing accommodations with comfortable common areas provides options for social interaction when desired. The key is accepting that some loneliness is natural rather than viewing it as failure. Transportation safety for solo female travelers involves researching local customs and choosing options that provide security without limiting mobility. Official taxis with meters and identification provide security advantages over ride-sharing in unfamiliar destinations. Public transportation during daylight hours is generally safe in developed countries, but understanding local customs about women traveling alone prevents uncomfortable situations. Walking remains the safest and most rewarding way to explore most destinations, but requires understanding which areas and times feel comfortable for women alone. But the real transformation happens when you discover the unexpected freedoms and authentic experiences that solo travel provides, advantages you can't get when traveling with others. The freedom to make every decision yourself becomes addictive once you experience it. No negotiations about restaurants, no compromises on itineraries, no waiting for someone else to be ready to leave. If you want to spend 3 hours in a museum, you can. If you want to skip the famous attraction and explore neighborhoods, that's your choice. If you want to change plans completely because you discovered something interesting, there's no one to convince or disappoint. This decision-making autonomy transforms travel from a series of compromises into pure personal exploration. The social dynamics of solo travel surprise most women with how naturally conversations develop when you're alone. Couples create social barriers that prevent interactions with locals and other travelers. Solo women attract genuine offers of assistance, recommendations, and friendly conversation in ways that groups don't experience. Restaurant staff provide better service and local insights when they see you're traveling independently and interested in authentic experiences rather than tourist entertainment. Budget realities of solo travel require honest assessment because single supplements and lack of cost sharing make solo travel more expensive per person, but not necessarily prohibitive. The trade-off comes in different spending patterns. Solo travelers often spend more on accommodation security, but less on meals and activities. You're not paying for someone else's preferences, so money goes toward things you actually value. Understanding these cost differences helps plan realistic budgets rather than trying to replicate couple travel costs. The confidence-building aspect of solo travel extends far beyond travel skills into general life confidence. Navigating foreign cities alone, handling problems independently, and making decisions without consultation builds self-reliance that affects every area of life. Women who start solo traveling often report feeling more confident in business situations, social settings, and personal relationships because they've proven to themselves they can handle complex situations independently. Cultural interactions change completely when you're traveling as a solo woman rather than part of a couple or group. Local women often approach solo female travelers with genuine interest and hospitality that they wouldn't extend to tourists traveling together. These interactions provide authentic cultural insights and often lead to experiences, home-cooked meals, local festivals, hidden attractions that aren't available to typical tourists. Solo women appear less threatening and more genuinely interested in cultural exchange. The safety strategies that actually work focus on awareness and preparation rather than paranoia or avoidance. Researching local customs prevents situations where cultural misunderstandings could create safety concerns. Sharing itineraries with family provides security without helicopter parenting. Understanding local emergency services and women's resources provides confidence without expecting problems. The goal is reasonable preparation that enables confident exploration rather than anxious avoidance. Technology tools enhance solo travel safety and comfort when used appropriately. GPS navigation reduces vulnerability from being obviously lost with paper maps. Translation apps facilitate communication in emergencies. Video calling maintains family connections and provides emotional support during challenging moments. However, over-reliance on technology can create new vulnerabilities if devices fail or attract unwanted attention. Balance involves using technology as backup rather than primary safety strategy. Prescription medication management becomes entirely your responsibility when traveling solo, requiring extra planning and preparation. Carrying extra medications in different luggage pieces prevents total loss. Understanding international names for medications helps locate replacements if necessary. Researching healthcare systems in destinations provides confidence for handling minor medical issues independently. Travel insurance becomes essential when you're the only person available to make medical decisions. Evening entertainment options require different strategies for solo female travelers than recommendations designed for couples or groups. Cultural events, concerts, theater, lectures provide safe evening activities with built-in social interaction. Hotel lounges and wine bars in good neighborhoods offer comfortable settings for casual socializing. Group tours or cooking classes provide structured social interaction with other travelers. The key is having options that don't require staying in hotel rooms but don't involve potentially unsafe late-night activities. The photography challenge of solo travel, documenting experiences without a travel companion, requires creativity and sometimes asking for help. Many destinations have photography services at major attractions. Fellow travelers often gladly take photos when asked politely. Selfie techniques improve with practice. Though focusing on landscape and detail, photography often produces more satisfying travel documentation than trying to prove you were there. The goal is capturing memories rather than social media proof. Language barriers affect solo female travelers differently than groups because you can't rely on others to handle communication. Basic phrase preparation becomes essential, but so does developing confidence in nonverbal communication and patience with misunderstandings. Many destinations have English-speaking populations, particularly in areas accustomed to international travelers. However, learning key phrases shows respect and often results in more helpful and friendly interactions. Emergency planning for solo travel requires thinking through scenarios and having multiple backup plans without becoming paralyzed by worst-case thinking. Embassy registration provides official support for serious emergencies. Emergency contact lists should include local embassy, hotel, family, and medical providers. Understanding local emergency services and hospital locations provides confidence without expecting to need them. The balance involves reasonable preparation that enables confident travel rather than anxious contingency planning. Here's where solo travel becomes truly transformative. The destinations and experiences that welcome solo women, and the practical strategies that make it all work seamlessly. After 18 months of solo travel across 15 countries, I've identified the destinations that genuinely welcome solo women versus those that merely tolerate us. Portugal leads my recommendations because single women dining, shopping, and exploring alone attract no attention or unwanted commentary. Restaurant servers provide excellent service without assuming you're waiting for someone. Hotel staff offer genuine assistance and local recommendations. Public transportation feels safe and comfortable during all daylight hours and most evening hours. Drop a comment below, sharing your solo travel experiences or concerns. Both successful trips and challenging moments help other women understand what solo female travel actually involves, rather than idealized versions. Scandinavian countries, Denmark, Sweden, Norway, provide perhaps the safest and most welcoming environments for solo female travelers worldwide. Gender equality extends to travel experiences where solo women receive identical treatment to couples or groups. English fluency eliminates communication barriers. Public transportation systems accommodate solo travelers with clear signage and helpful staff. Restaurant cultures normalize solo dining. Healthcare systems provide security for managing minor medical issues. The main drawback is cost, but the cultural comfort level justifies premium pricing for many women. The Netherlands offers ideal solo travel experiences with English-speaking populations, bike-friendly cities that provide safe transportation options, and cultural attitudes that celebrate independence. Amsterdam's Museum Quarter provides days of cultural activities within walking distance of comfortable accommodations. Smaller cities like Bruges and Utrecht offer authentic experiences without metropolitan complexity. The country's flat geography accommodates any mobility level, while providing beautiful scenery and cultural richness. Mediterranean destinations vary dramatically in their suitability for solo women, with Spain and parts of Italy offering excellent experiences, while others require more cultural navigation. Spanish cities like San Sebastian and Salamanca combine safety with cultural richness and food scenes that welcome solo diners. Italian destinations like Bologna and Verona provide authentic experiences in cities designed for walking and independent exploration. The key is choosing locations with sophisticated local populations rather than pure tourist destinations. Central European cities, Vienna, Prague, Budapest, offer compelling solo travel experiences with rich cultural offerings, walkable city centers, and reasonable costs. These destinations provide intellectual stimulation through museums, concerts, and architecture, while maintaining safety levels comfortable for solo women. Public transportation systems connect cultural attractions efficiently. Restaurant scenes accommodate solo diners naturally. English proficiency varies, but tourist infrastructure supports independent travelers effectively. Asian destinations require careful selection for solo female travelers, but countries like Japan and Singapore provide exceptional experiences for women comfortable with different ethnic, cultural contexts. Japan's safety levels and helpful population make it ideal for solo women despite language barriers. Singapore's English-speaking environment and excellent infrastructure provide Southeast Asian experiences without cultural navigation challenges. Both destinations respect solo female travelers and provide support systems for independent exploration. The first solo trip planning process differs significantly from later trips because confidence and skills develop through experience. Starting with familiar cultural contexts, English-speaking countries, or well-established tourist destinations provide successful experiences that build confidence for more adventurous later trips. Planning shorter initial trips reduces financial risk and emotional pressure while testing personal comfort levels with solo travel logistics. Accommodation booking for solo travel requires different considerations than couple or group travel. Central locations reduce transportation confusion and provide walking access to restaurants and activities. Properties with 24-hour desk service offer security and local assistance. Avoiding ground floor rooms provides security advantages. Reading reviews specifically from solo travelers reveals property attitudes toward single women and quality of service provided to individual guests rather than groups. Building local connections during solo travel happens naturally when you're open to conversations and genuinely interested in cultural exchange. Coffee shops, markets, and cultural events provide natural interaction opportunities. Local classes, cooking, language, art offer structured ways to meet like-minded people while learning about culture. Volunteering opportunities provide meaningful interaction with local communities while contributing to worthwhile causes. The key is balancing openness with appropriate caution about personal information and safety. The personal transformation aspect of solo travel extends far beyond travel skills into fundamental shifts in self-perception and confidence. Women who master solo travel often report feeling more confident in professional situations, more comfortable with solitude in daily life, and more decisive in personal relationships. The skills developed through independent travel, problem-solving, cultural adaptation, self-reliance, transfer into other life areas, and continue benefiting women long after trips end. Practical solo travel tips focus on logistics that enhance comfort and safety without restricting experiences. Packing strategies should prioritize versatility and comfort over fashion. Keeping copies of important documents in separate luggage pieces prevents total loss. Maintaining regular communication schedules with family provides security without helicopter monitoring. Learning basic local customs prevents cultural misunderstandings that could create uncomfortable situations. The seasonal considerations for solo female travel involve understanding when destinations provide the most comfortable experiences for independent women travelers. Shoulder seasons often provide better local interaction opportunities because tourist infrastructure operates at normal capacity rather than overwhelming volume. Weather considerations affect safety and comfort more significantly for solo travelers who can't share transportation costs or rely on companions for assistance during challenging conditions. My personal solo travel evolution continues with each trip as confidence builds and preferences clarify. Early trips focused on proving I could handle logistics independently. Recent trips emphasize cultural immersion and authentic experiences that wouldn't be possible when traveling with others. Future trips will likely push geographic boundaries as confidence grows and travel skills develop. The key insight is that solo travel becomes easier and more rewarding with experience rather than more challenging. The women who've embraced solo travel after 55 report life changes that extend far beyond vacation experiences. They describe feeling more confident, more decisive, and more comfortable with independence in all aspects of life. Many develop ongoing relationships with destinations, returning annually to places where they've built connections and familiarity. The travel skills and confidence transfer into other life areas, affecting careers, relationships, and personal development. The ultimate lesson from solo female travel after 55 is that age brings advantages: financial stability, time flexibility, cultural curiosity, and self-knowledge that can make solo travel more rewarding than earlier life stages when external pressures and inexperience create limitations. The destinations, experiences, and personal growth available through solo travel provide opportunities that don't exist when waiting for ideal travel companions or restricting travel to familiar group dynamics. Before dismissing solo travel due to safety concerns or social anxiety, consider starting with short domestic trips or familiar destinations that allow testing personal comfort levels without major investment or commitment. Solo travel skills develop through practice, and confidence builds with successful experiences. The goal isn't proving independence, but discovering whether solo travel enhances your life enough to justify the challenges and costs involved. Subscribe if this honest solo travel discussion provided the realistic perspective you needed. And remember, solo female travel after 55 isn't about being fearless. It's about being informed, prepared, and true to your own travel dreams. The travel industry often markets solo female travel with either fear-based warnings or unrealistic empowerment messages that don't acknowledge the genuine considerations and real rewards involved. The truth lies between those extremes. Solo travel has challenges and requires preparation, but offers experiences and personal growth that aren't available through any other travel style. Your travel dreams deserve honest consideration rather than dismissal, based on societal expectations about what women our age should or shouldn't do independently.